Bonjour tout le monde, c'est Tamara. J'espère que tu vas bien. Bienvenue sur ma chaîne YouTube. Bienvenue. Je suis très ravie de vous voir aujourd'hui. I don't have a song, I'm just playing around right now. Welcome to my channel. This video is going to be about the French language, which is why I started in French, but I think I'm going to do this video in English just for people to get familiar with the language. Give me 1 second. I forgot my diploma. 1 second. Not really my diploma, but like my certificate. It's right beside me. 1 second. Woo. Back again. Guess who's back. Tell a friend. Okay. Do you know that I literally found out like 2 years ago that Eminem sang that song? I didn't know. I just thought people were just singing it. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is catchy. And then I realized, oh, this is Eminem. Okay. He's I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to end up in a rap. Oh, no, that I would. But just in case I ever get anywhere, I don't know who he is. I don't know him. In case you haven't seen this is under my birth name, but I am going by Tamara Bryan on this channel. Eventually, the name change in real life will follow. But yeah, I have my DELF C1 certification from, it's getting really bright. I'm trying to get the lighting right here. So I have my DELF C1 certification. I did this with Alliance Française in Toronto, Canada. Yes, I'm Canadian, in case you didn't know. So I have my DELF C1 certification. And I want to start really exploring the French language on my channel, really talking about my French language journey, things like that. So I thought I would start a video and just start kind of talking about ways to get yourself started with the French language. For me, I've been studying French since I was in the 2nd grade. I've talked about this in another video. I also talked about my 2 trips doing the Explore program. So I studied French straight from 2nd grade to 12th grade. I was in private school, which is why I started a little early. Normally in Canada, French classes start at grade 4, not grade 2. So yeah, I started from grade 2, went to grade 12, did core French the whole time. I didn't do extended French or French immersion, like people like to assume, which is fine, you know. When you're at a certain level, people sometimes assume that you had a certain kind of French education in Canada. But no, I just did the core French. After that, I went to university. I did French in university for a year. My grades were not so good, not as good as high school. So I said, you know what, forget this. I want to focus on my GPA. And so I switched out and stuck with communications solely. I actually switched my major too. I was doing international business with French, switched over to communications. I just found it was a better fit for me, and I'm glad I made that choice. Long story short, I really found that before I went to the Explore program, I found that I really wasn't necessarily growing in French. I was growing in my knowledge of grammar and of vocabulary and of different stories here and there, but I really didn't feel like I was growing in terms of communication. Like I could barely string together a sentence and talk to people in French. So let me try and think of 5 tips off the cuff of how you can get to learn French a bit more. 1, follow people on social media. There are so many platforms now on social media. Back when I was a kid, social media wasn't popping like that. I didn't get on social media until I was about grade 11, grade 12, grade 10, 11, 12 kind of time. In high school was when social media started really breaking out for people like my age. So for you guys growing up in this new generation with technology and all that, you guys are very lucky. I wish I had had so much technology at my disposal when I was younger, because I was so bored. But yeah, use social media. You can just go on do a quick Google search and look for top French YouTubers to follow, and they'll pull up names like Cyprien, Denzi, I think his name is Squeegee. I like Inner French. I know he's not super popular, but I like him. I like French Your Way. Trying to think of people off the top of my head. There's Hugo Decrypt if you're interested in like liberal news. There's C'était Mon Choix if you like talk shows, kind of crazy talk shows, not quite Jerry Springer crazy, but kind of along that line, like people who will come and show their alternative lifestyles and be like, this is me, and I'm proud like this, and this is who I am, and, you know. And or you can follow people who, you know, learned the French language and now they're fluent. Like I follow Patty Lynn Q as well. Yeah, so follow different people, research them, see who's best for you. I know for me, I like people who do skits in French. I like to listen to talk and radio shows in French. I like to listen to people who learned the language and now are fluent. I like to listen to people who travel and talk about their travels. So like if they travel to France a lot or they travel to Quebec a lot and they talk about their experiences in those places, that I'd like to know about. And people who basically teach about their culture. I really like that. So 1, get on social media. Get on. 2, I would say change your phone language. You have no idea how many times you look at your phone in the day. Changing your phone language is something that is so easy. Go to your settings, go to keyboards, or go to language and just completely change the language. Don't do this if you don't speak the language at all. Like that, or you could. It will be a little hard and complicated for you, but you can try. But I would say get your footing a little bit more in the language. I would definitely recommend this for upper level beginners. Do it because you'll gain so much vocabulary, you'll learn so much, and I really feel like it will help you exponentially grow your abilities in the language, just learning how to navigate your phone in a second language. 3, get a language partner. There's so many sites out there that you can find language partners on. I find my top 2 favorites will be HelloTalk and italki. I talk about you guys like almost every video. I talk about French. Please sponsor me, okay? Hold on a second. Please sponsor me. I'm not joking. Okay, I be talking about you guys all the time, and I be using you guys all the time. I'm not just talking about you guys, just talk. I haven't used italki in a while, but it's a good site. I just find I get more traction with HelloTalk, personally. As soon as I turn on the app and I start being active on there, people just start hitting me up. Hey, how are you? I want to learn with you, and all that stuff. You have to be careful because you will find creepy people on there. Sure, you can find a whole bunch of HelloTalk stories. I actually had somebody send me a dick pic on HelloTalk. Yeah, it can be crazy over there, but I swear to God it happened. But you know, when you do find a good language partner on there, you really find a good one. Like for me, I like to you can go on these websites, or the app for HelloTalk is just an app. For italki, sorry, it's an app and a website, so you can set your language preferences, how advanced you are in the language, what region do you want your language partners from, or where you want it. You can toggle your search and figure out where you want your language partners to come from. You can set your profile settings so people can see what you're looking for. You can decide if you want language partners close to you, far from you, if you want people who are male or female. It can get really intricate depending on which program you're using. So I would say definitely get a language partner. The best thing to do, I have language partners right now who learned the language, and I also have language partners who are native to a language. Both can be helpful. If you find somebody who's learning the language like you, at least they might be a bit more aware of some mistakes that you make than a native speaker would be. But then a native speaker has that intuitive understanding of the language, and they'll be able to pinpoint mistakes to you sometimes and be able to give an explanation as to how things are and why certain things are the way that they are. So that's my take on getting a language partner. It's very valuable, and I would highly recommend it. Somebody you can talk to at least once a week on a call. 4, go to a French-speaking region. I am telling this video specifically to French because that is my second language, and that is the language I'm really trying the hardest to learn. But you can use any of these tips for any language as you want. Go to a region that speaks the language you want to speak. And please, YouTube is free. Go on YouTube if you like a specific language, like French, for example. Yes, there is a standard way of writing French, but every single region you go to in the world will sound a little bit different. If you go to places like in North America, like for instance Quebec and Louisiana, that were completely isolated from the rest of the francophonie or the French-speaking world, they're going to sound completely different from the standard French. For me right now, my goal is to learn Québécois French and to develop my Québécois French so that I sound like a real Quebecer and I can start to really spend more time there and grow in the language, grow in the culture. I think it's something I really want to do. So, yeah. I would highly recommend you taking some time and traveling to a place that's you're completely surrounded by the language of choice. If you're going to French, if you're going to learn French, for example, do not stick to the capital cities and the tourist areas. So for instance, if you're going to Quebec City is a no-no. Well, Quebec City might work because they do speak more French there than Montreal. And I found when I visited Quebec, I visited Quebec City in 2019 for a work trip, and then I visited Montreal in 2018, I think, for a work trip. If I have my dates correct, I think so. Actually, no, I think I went to Montreal in 2019, and then I went to early 2019, and then mid 2019 I went to Quebec City. Yeah. But yeah, so Montreal, everybody there is pretty much bilingual. Or you have some people who only speak English and speak no French on the west side. And then for Quebec City, I found that most of the people spoke only French, but I went to the hotel Le Chateau Frontenac, the really iconic hotel there. I got to stay there with my company. Thank you guys so much for letting me stay there. Thank you. It's a dream come true. I always wanted to go and stay in that hotel. I did want to get a picture in front of the hotel though, and I didn't get to get that, so I'll have to go back on my own, get that done. But otherwise, I did enjoy myself. But yeah, so I really think that it's a great chance and a great opportunity to go to a specific region that speaks the language you're interested in, a place where you can immerse yourself. That's why I'm telling you to avoid places that speak your native language, which is presumably English if you're following this video. Do not go to the tourist spots. Go somewhere where you can practice the language, where you can speak the language. I would highly recommend you look at my Explore program video. I kind of did a comparison between my time spending a month or 5 weeks, I guess, in Montreal in 2016, as well as Trois-Rivières for 5 weeks again in 2012. There's a big difference between my French usage and my French communications in both cities. And number 5, getting to number 5 here. Number 5, marry somebody in your target language or date them. I'm just kidding. You can do that, but I'm not going to tell you to date somebody just to learn the language. Hi there. This video is now from future me. Funny story. While I was recording the last video talking about my 5 tips on how to really start to improve French, as soon as I started talking about dating and marrying somebody from the culture, the video shut off. I don't know if that was God telling me, like, you play too much, stop it. And he just cut that. I'm just playing. So long story short is, as per usual, I had my device a little too full. I know people who know me personally don't write comments, okay? I know. I always have too much stuff on my devices. I'll do better. I'll do better. This time it's not quite my fault. It's YouTube. You know, ever since I started a YouTube channel now, my device is way fuller than it used to be. I used to have so much space. But yeah, so I thought I would come back. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I hit my piano. I'm so sorry. I just brought it back to my house. Can I turn them this just so you can quickly see it? There you go. Got your piano. I just brought it back to my house. Not back to my space. You know, I kind of had it in storage and I said, you know what? Let me pull it out from where I had it and just put it back up. Because now that we're in quarantine, I should have a bit more time on my hands, right? So I have my guitar behind me, got my piano at the other side, have my vocals. I'm figuring, you know what? Let me try and be a bit productive during quarantine and get some stuff done. Yeah. So, back to the video at hand. I just came back to record that part 5 for you. Apologies for any sounds, apologies for any noises, like one that just happened or the one that happened in the previous video. I was just trying to figure out now how I can best use my space without knocking my instruments every second. Alright, so tip number 5 was not marry somebody of the culture, even though I'm not going to lie to you, it would actually be a great idea if that's something that works out for you. It's a way for you to get a really intimate knowledge of the language. You know, you're going to be with that person all day, every day. You're going to get to know little details, little nuances, the culture that somebody who just has even just friendships or just acquaintances might not know. And on top of that, you might get an even deeper cultural insight just by being in a relationship with somebody from that culture. But I'm not going to tell somebody to date people just for language learning knowledge. Okay, so my last tip I would suggest is listen to music. Music rules the world. Music is everywhere. You can find music on iTunes, on YouTube, on Spotify, on SoundCloud. Pretty much every single platform out there has some form of music on it. And I find, for me, I don't know about for you, but I find that when I sing songs, when I listen to songs over and over and over again, it's a perfect way for me to start to really get a deep understanding of the songs, a deep understanding of what is being played. So if I listen to a song, first I'm getting the accent of the singer. I'm getting to hear how they sound, how they articulate themselves, what their intonation is, all that good stuff. I'm also getting new vocabulary. So if I don't understand a word, I can stop, I can look it up. Even these days you can just Google translate lyrics and get a general understanding of what people are saying. But I think it makes more sense to use websites like Word Reference or I'm trying to think of other dictionary websites. That's my favorite one, Word Reference. It has so many different languages on there. But I'm sure there's plenty on the internet that you can find, but Word Reference has never steered me wrong. It's always been pretty good. What else now? You listen to the songs over and over and over again, you start to pick up some of the lyrics, you start to pick up some of the expressions, so it's useful, it's helpful. I think it's something great. What else now? Yeah, that's about it. Another tip, it's not a tip I've used, but it's a tip I will use, I promise, is to read in French. All the time, my language partners who talk to me, they're always like, Tatissia, that's my birth name. They're like, Tatissia, you never read in French. You need to read in French. You'll build your vocabulary so quickly that way. Blah, blah, blah. And so hopefully you'll join me and we can take that tip together. That's a bonus tip for you. I said 5 tips. I've given you 6. 7 if you want to include the joke tip too. I'm the gift that keeps on giving, guys. The gift that keeps on giving. Alright, so that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Excuse my appearance. I've been working all day and I'm about to go to beddy bye. It is super late. But thank you so much for your time. I so appreciate the chance to talk to you. I hope we can have more times together and I hope we build a great community here on YouTube. So please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Give me that big thumbs up if you liked the video. Even if you didn't, thumbs down works too. You can also leave tips on how to improve. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it so much. All right, You have an amazing time. All the best now. Bye.